So you're looking for a tutorial on how to stack these polyrhythms. The very first step that I do is that you want to make sure each of these polyrhythms individually are solid, yet you have them under your hands, that you've studied them. If you're new to polyrhythms, this will probably be a little above your pay grade. So the first thing I do is I look for each individual relationship. The 5 is probably the toughest, so I'm going to make that the time. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now let's look at the 5 against the 4. So that's 1, 2, E, 3, and 4, a 5. 1, 2, E, 3, and 4, a 5. And if you don't know how to find that, I've done lessons in my profile on that. Let's look at the 5 against the 3. I'll put the 3 on the ride. So 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4 and a 5 and a 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4 and a 5 and a 1. The next relationship is the 4 against the 3. That's going to be your pass the bread and butter. Pass the bread and butter. And the hard thing about that is you got to do that inside of the 5, but being that that's a pretty common polyrhythm, it shouldn't be that hard to figure out. The final relationship is adding the 2. And the 2 is going to fit right on the 1 with everything, and then right in between each of these rhythms. So against the 5, it's 1, 2, 3, and 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, and 4, 5. Against the 4, it's dead even. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Against the 3, it's like the Carol of the Bells. The ta, 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 ta. 1, 2, and 3. Now I'm going to go ahead and play all of these polyrhythms together, but I'm going to count each limb separately. So it's going to sound like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 1, 2. Now I know a ton of you are going to come into my comments and say, that really doesn't sound good, or that doesn't really belong in music, or that's a waste of time. But the idea of this is not to perform it in music. This is an exercise to develop your coordination. And it's the idea of practicing at a very high level, so when you're performing at a normal level, you flow and you sound great. So I hope this helps.